A plan to save the Astrodome from wrecking ball appears to be gaining steam. The plan would raise the ground level of the dome and convert 2 floors into 1,400 covered parking spaces. Now, on top of the parking, there would be 9 acres of open indoor space. The cost is $105 million with no tax hike required. County Judge Ed Emmett envisions the rodeo, the Offshore Technology Conference, and festivals renting the open space. The parking, combined with the rent, would provide a consistent revenue stream to offset the cost. Would relying on the cost of rent be a risky guarantee to make, or does this plan look like it'll finally be the one to work? The future of the Astrodome is our topic this half hour, and we want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page. You can weigh in there. We've put the topics at the top for you, or on Twitter. Just use the hashtag Fox26forlife. Joining us live in the newsroom is our panel led by our senior legal analyst Chris Tridico, Democratic media consultant Mustafa Tamiz, and Republican strategist and public policy analyst Jackie Bally. All right, some people are saying this is the 8th million idea for the 8th wonder of the world. Certainly seems that way. We've been tossing around these studies and ideas for years now.
I'm done. I've had it. Just do something. Lie to me. Just do it. Just spend the money and ask later. It's like when you don't go home at night, you don't call your wife, you just ask for forgiveness later. Ed Emmett, spend the money. Just do it and ask for forgiveness later. We'll do it. It's fine. Just do it. I've had it with the dome. This is probably a pretty good plan in my view. The only problem I have with this, Mustafa Tamiz, is there's no air conditioning involved, and so you're going to rent a covered space in a building where the cars are parking underneath. You got carbon monoxide filtering up, and you want to put all those people in there with no AC. That I see as a problem. Other than that, I think this is a pretty decent plan.
Well, I don't know the details of it, and I think the engineering results and those things will come. But the issue has been that if you just tear down the dome, it would cost you tens of millions of dollars, and then you have no way of recouping that money. There's been a need by the rodeo and other institutions that they've wanted more additional parking in that area. So this kind of fulfills a lot of different requirements, sure. And it just makes a lot of sense. It seems like a smart plan to me.
We've seen a lot of plans come up. We've seen ULI, they've thrown out a multi-use facility, and that's still not thrown out, and now we're hearing about this plan. But it also costs tens and tens of millions of dollars just to maintain it, just for electricity. It's funny that you brought up electricity, because to keep a place that large cool costs quite a bit of money. So they better, well, you know, we're always looking for parking, but they better think that parking for these conventions and other proposed uses has to go back into paying for the maintenance and upkeep of the Astrodome, because that's really what we're looking at here if we're not going to use it as a multi-use facility.
Well, 1,400 parking spaces is going to generate revenue all by itself, plus the rent off the space, the 9-acre rent will be fine. I mean, that may generate, I don't know if it'll generate enough funds or not, but if you want to save the place, save the place. Just do something. 20 years we've been dealing with this. Plan after plan after plan. Just do it.
Well, I think that this is heading towards getting done, and the uniqueness of the dome not having a pillar in between, it'll be a very large open covered space available, and I think that it probably is going to yield a lot better results than most people anticipate.
All right, let me go to Sally. She's monitoring our social media.
All right, obviously, whenever we talk about the dome, it's a hot topic on Twitter, so let's head over to there first. This first tweet, please do something, anything. That's for you, Chris Tridico there. Ben says, lease the dome to a Native American Indian tribe and convert it into a casino. Hashtag 8,000,001 idea there. This person says, what is his fascination with the dome? Let it go, let it go. That's what she wants to do. And then Texas Cigar Guy says, I sent the judge a proposal for using the dome as a parking garage 2 years ago. He said, don't think so. Interesting now that it's come, back around, this very simple idea. And the judge has said it's going to be climate controlled, but I think that they didn't weigh in AC in the factor of this $105 million cost, but there could still be air conditioning, right?
Well, what I read was it was going to be, the climate control was going to be exhaust, pulling it out and keeping a ventilation system, but not air conditioning into what we would call the dome area. And so you're going to have ventilation pulling kind of like the old exhaust fans that you had in the houses in the 50s.
Right.
But that's not AC. You put a couple thousand people and 10,000 people in there in a 9-acre area, that could be pretty hot.
Yeah, but to you and the other viewers who say just do it, this is the dilemma. Whenever it went to the voters, a lot of voters went under the assumption that because the bond referendum or the exact verbiage did not pass, they thought that the Astrodome was going to be torn down. Right. So they have to be very careful in the campaign that they do and the campaign that they move forward with, because a lot of constituents are thinking, wait a minute, I voted on this. Why are we still discussing it? So it's not as easy as just do something because of what the perception is of many of the voters.
If this doesn't require new taxes, does it require a new vote?
No, because this is going to be used for the general funds, and the parking that's coming in will pay for the renovation. So if you think about this doesn't cost us anything. It creates additional parking, and it has a way of maybe creating potential revenue. So there's not a lot of downside on this plan, and I'm sorry it took so long to get there, but it's here and it's a good plan.
Well, we don't know if it doesn't cost anything yet. We don't know exactly what the plan is.
Well,
everything costs something.
Right.
So we're hoping that based on what little we found out so far, that the renting of the parking space will compensate for the cost of maintaining and upkeep of the facility.
Right. At the end of the day, it could end up costing more than the facility generates, but at least you're using the facility.
And this is something that's been going around for quite some time, because I heard that Commissioner Locke, Commissioner L. Franco Lee, whose precinct it's sitting in, saw it and approved it, and it sounds like Commissioner Locke may approve it too. So this may be our step to moving forward to getting some kind of resolution.
Well, when you go to the rodeo, when you go to big games, one of the challenges over there is that you can't find parking.
Right.
So if these parking spaces get created, they're going to be used, and therefore you'll have the revenue to pay.
1,400 parking spaces is a good deal at any time around that area. Yeah. So that'll be a big benefit if at anything else, to do that.
Yeah, and spaces that will be created that have a revenue source attached to it, so that's why it doesn't cost the taxpayers money.
Somehow I suspect we'll be talking about this topic again, because the judge will always be known as the Astrodome King, just like Mayor Parker will be known as the Bathroom Queen. So.
Oh, had to take a shot. She's not even in office anymore. And I've always wanted to go on the floor of the Astrodome without getting arrested. Now we get to do that.
Yeah. You can do circles and wheelies.
The things that excite you, Chris Tridico. Yeah.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. Looks like the Astrodome dilemma is finally coming to a close. A 20-year dilemma, Sally. We're here. It's there.
We should play a best of all of our dome segments, when we finally have it. All right. Thanks, guys.